If your wellness routine feels heavy, it might be because it isn't yours. A lot of modern wellness is just productivity culture in the latest aloe set. It looks good and you're doing something, so you must be doing something, but it ain't getting your mind clear. And look at the world around us. We're still dealing with a lot of trauma for a lot of reasons. Let's solve this today. Let's get into the 4 pillars of African wellness. If you don't know me, I'm Archel Bernard, and I'm an African wellness baddie, and I'm here to help you take ancestral practices and implement them in your modern life. In my past life, I was a 7-figure fashion social entrepreneur. I opened a factory in Liberia that hired and trained women from backgrounds of poverty to sew clothes, and then we sold them all over the world, but especially at my fabulous boutique in Atlanta, Georgia. I operated that business for a little over 4 years, and I also imported beautiful finds and pieces from other places like Ghana and Kenya and South Africa, and you name it. If it's African and it's about wellness, I love it. So since closing that store, I have really been spending time healing myself. And in that healing process, I realized that a lot of the Eurocentric wellness practices did not work for me because they didn't incorporate things of my ancestors, of my spirit, of my lineage. And so I've been putting a lot of what I've researched and learned together, and I want to share it with you guys because I feel like it could truly help somebody get back to the heart of the things that matter and apply to them. Now, I want to be super clear, just like with my boutique, in African wellness, all are welcome. And all of the things that I share can run at the same time as whatever faith or religion you practice. None of it is meant to compete. It's for everyone. I encourage you to watch this with an open mind. Take what helps you, take what resonates with you, and leave the rest. At the end of the day, if you feel happy and if you feel healthy, then we've made the world better for all the people around us. We're connected, and I live by that. And I'm here to encourage that. So let's get into it. What is African wellness? So African wellness is not a diet or a fitness plan. It's a design for your life built around your ancestry, your body, and your community. It's the idea that African people have always had sophisticated wellness practices. We are simply reclaiming the language. So let's get into the 4 pillars. The first one is ritual. All right, repeat after me. We're saying ritual, not routine. Wow, my handwriting is terrible. I don't even know if you can read that. So a routine is something that you check off your to-do list. I woke up at 6 a.m. I washed my face. I did my skincare. But a ritual, there's meaning behind that. All right? It's intentional. Ritual has feeling. It includes feeling. Routine organizes your life, but ritual will transform it. Let me put some stars. Let's put a magnet. Let's make it cute. Ritual. So with routine, these things are more about efficiency. You want to make sure that you have the time scheduled to do it. But with ritual, it's about what you need. So it could change day to day. It's inspired actions. So it's you wake up in the morning and today maybe you feel like speaking affirmations into the mirror. Tomorrow, maybe you feel like dancing in order to feel one with your body. Instead of saying every morning I have to have a protein shake, maybe you're saying today is a beautiful day and I feel like the sun was shining differently. I would like a fruit bowl. So ritual allows grace, all right? Whereas routine is a little more rigid. So one of the 4 pillars that I like to start off with when it comes to African wellness is ritual. The easiest way to simplify it is a routine is something you check off your list and a ritual is something that makes you feel better. We're working from the inside out, baby. Routines help you get things done and rituals help you become someone. So, that rhymed. I didn't even know that was gonna rhyme. I think that part of your ritual can be having a routine, but it has to be a flexible routine or you're not gonna feel any better. All right, pillar number 2 is a personal favorite of mine. I'll let you take a guess. If you know me, then you know it has something to do with the way you look and present yourself, but we're calling it adornment. All right, pillar number 2, adornment. How you dress, decorate, and present yourself is an act of self-love. I stand on that. It is an act of self-respect, cultural expression. It's identity, not vanity. Adornment is very important. How you show up in the world has a huge impact on how you are seen and received and how you feel. Adornment is communication, and for me, that's probably been the most popular way that I've communicated or even dug into in my past professional life. I remember being a little girl and I had this fabulous aunt named Aletha. Her chill clothes were not t-shirts and jeans. Her chill clothes were custom embroidered, hand embroidered caftans made by French trained Togolese artisans. You know what I'm saying? This woman did not step to the supermarket looking like she did not care. She had presence, and we felt it through the way she adorned herself. Also, why I love waist beads so much. I have a set on here, and if you saw my previous video where I was tying on the waist beads at the beginning of the year, I do feel like they're speaking to me, but we'll make a video on that later. It's not about me, it's about you. I love waist beads because I feel like that is a form of adornment that you have no matter what. You're wearing them in the shower, you're wearing them in the beach, you're showing them to people or you're not. But that is a form of adornment that has traveled from generations and generations of African women across seas, starting from pieces of shells on a string to now we have beautiful beads that are made, hopefully, preferably, by makers on the continent. Bombshell ones are all made in Ghana. But I think that waist beads are a beautiful form of adornment that we get to share with everyone. You know, I love clothes. I love to see all types of women in beautiful handmade pieces or pieces from creators of color, small makers. And I think that there's something to be said about who you're choosing your clothes from. I think it's so special that I still have pieces from my aunt from decades and decades ago. We're not handing down anything from Zara. So that's not a choice for adornment. But if you find a piece that looks beautiful, you get it tailored to yourself, that is custom, right? And so you're adorning yourself in something that is made for you. I could go on and on and on about adornment. The way that you show up to a space communicates how you respect that space. So I think that this one is so special and it's easy. Fashion is the ultimate unifier. And so I think that we really speak to the people around us with what we choose to use to adorn ourselves with it. So I'm so excited that is probably one of the most exciting pillars of African wellness for me. Just thinking about head wraps, kaftans, my mom who's been in black for grief throughout different seasons of her life. There's so much that we can get into with adornment, but I just want to introduce that to you, and we'll get to the third one. The third pillar, y'all know, but the third pillar, community. Was this whiteboard a good idea? I don't know, my shadow, whatever, but we're playing with it. Third pillar is community, all right? Wellness is not a solo act, baby. The things that are happening in the world in one place, we feel them here in ourselves and our body. Or even when things hit our communities, me as a refugee immigrant, when I think about what's happening in that community, we are also interconnected, that we have to feed that pillar. We have to pay attention to that pillar or we will not be well. When we talk about community, it's who you eat with, who you party with, who you talk to, who you learn from, who you grieve with. It's so much, right? The people who live alongside you, who you may not know their names, I still feel like they're part of my community. And I think about community differently than a lot of people do here. I don't even think you get to necessarily choose your community all the time. Sure, you choose friend groups, and that's situational, but also I think there are a lot of people in the community that I haven't chosen. They just live around me or I interact with them at work. So community is really deep because when we look around the world, if there are unstable communities, then that destabilizes how I feel about my life. And I think this is a perfect time to also say that if all are not free, then none of us are free. And that falls under community as well. Whoa, your girl went deep on you. Just wanted to truly paint the picture of how much community matters. And finally, the fourth pillar of African wellness is embodiment. I'll say that when my store closed and I was going through transitional time, I fell into deep depression and movement changed my life. Movement changed my life. I've always been a curvier woman. I've been heavier than I am now, but thankfully I found the gym and I found the desire to continue to pour into myself and develop myself and build my body. And I'm continuing to build my body in a way that makes me feel happy and whole and healthy again. But when we think about embodiment, it's dance. It's what am I feeding myself? It's the nourishment of the food. It is stretching, right? So that I don't feel old and creaky, but I feel so prepared and strong and ready to take on the world. Embodiment is not about performing health. It's about inhabiting it yourself. Embodiment is the practice of living inside your body and not just living inside your mind. Are you listening to your body? Are you expressing yourself through movement? Or are you overthinking? Are you sitting at a desk all day? Are you fighting for constant productivity? Are you ignoring the signs of stress and fatigue? In an African wellness context, embodiment is about doing things that make your body feel aligned with progress and with how you want to feel. That doesn't mean that you have to take expensive Pilates classes in order to feel embodiment. You can play a little whiz kid right now, wind your waist a little bit, and you are experiencing embodiment for the day. Embodiment truly means that you stop living only in your thoughts and you start expressing yourself in your body. Because I haven't used my whiteboard this whole time, I'm gonna say, how do you feel? All right, because that's embodiment. All right, so you don't have to start over when it comes to African wellness. You just have to start with what feels good to you and work from there. Optimize, if you will. 4 pillars of African wellness. All right, first one, ritual. Wow, my handwriting is getting worse and worse as this goes along. I wonder, who knew that that was a skill to teach? It was like, I need to be able to write well. Ritual, adornment, community, and embodiment. These are the 4 pillars of African wellness. Over the next month or so, I'm really gonna dig into each pillar. I'm curious though right now, if this is the first video you're seeing on it, it's the first video I'm doing on it. Comment below for me which pillar you feel like you like the most. And actually do this because I just have a few subscribers right now. Thank you to all 207 of you. I'm grateful. Comment below which ritual resonates the most with you. I'll reply in the comments a practice that you can do for it today. It's gonna be something easy. And it's just gonna be something that centers you, brings you back to number 1. I believe that all 4 of these work together beautifully to create the kind of life and feeling that we want to have. With ritual, I know the people who did my 7-day glow up and get paid last year and the girlies that did the 30-day African abundance challenge, there was a lot of ritual in there. So far, I know that my business and company have really leaned into ritual since the transformation, adornment, just because I don't know what else to do but get dressed and adorn myself like that. That's always first. And I think we're moving more into community. We have the event coming up at the end of March called Emerge. And then I have a dinner series that I'm planning that's gonna lean more into community. And it's also going to spill over into embodiment. Look, all of this works together. And so I have so many things in my mind for how to put them together and make us feel like we're living these amazing whole lives rooted in African wellness. So I would be so honored if you would comment, subscribe, share, comment though. Let me know which pillar resonates with you the most. And I would just be so honored if you would comment, subscribe, and share. At 250 subscribers, I'm gonna pull one name from my list of subscribers and I'm going to ship you a pair of our fantastic new Pilates socks because listen, adornment starts from the ground up. Embodiment starts from the ground up. So we got to get those feet, make you feel cozy in your feet, right? So at 250 subscribers, I've got a cute little giveaway. And if that is successful, then I might have another one at 500. I don't know. I'm just excited to play and see what this YouTube channel can do, how we can grow more people into African wellness baddies, because I don't have to be the only one. I can be HBIC, head baddie in charge, but I don't have to be the only one. So comment below, because I'll be looking for those comments and I'm excited to get to know you guys better, to build community and help us embody more of these pillars of African wellness. Love you, bye.